Hey, my name's Dave Goodyear. I'm here today to show you my four-season passive solar greenhouse. Really, it's meant for winter. I'd say is when the University of Minnesota refers to these as deep winter greenhouses. Highly insulated on all sides except for the glazing. The idea is to keep lots of heat in the winter. Things nice and hospitable for growing greens and whatnot. Let's take a tour inside. The greenhouse itself took about 4 months to build. I took around 4 months of time on and off to get through the project. It worked out pretty well from what I've seen so far with respect to performance. I got some automation systems and stuff put in. Some things aren't completely passive, but overall, I would say, mostly passive. So in order to grow in a cold climate, you need to be able to keep things, above freezing. And the idea is to use this ground to air heat exchanger, which pulls hot air from above. Fan pushes it underground through a set of pipes, and then it exits over in that corner. So in the summertime, it provides some cooling. With all this glazing, it's not really enough to cool the structure down effectively. Considering I think there's about 13 kilowatts worth of energy coming in through there on a clear day. But it is enough to provide some. And of course, during that time when you're cooling, that heat's being lost to the ground, so you're actually creating kind of a climatic bubble, I guess, underneath the greenhouse. The greenhouse has 4 feet of insulation all the way around the perimeter, a couple feet down on the back north wall here. It's around 4 or 5 feet under. So the idea is to really just create a bubble of high temperature region in the ground below the greenhouse that's coupled, I guess it's coupled to the thermal mass of the building. So when we built it, the idea was to be able to start seeding sometime in September and growing, I guess, greens that could grow under cold and low light conditions. I'll get into what those particulars in terms of the type of plants that we chose later in another video log, but for this one, it's really just an update on the structure and what we've done with it so far. So for planting, we decided to put these beds along the front. They're coupled to the thermal mass of the ground. These will be used for a variety of things: greens, radishes, some short growing types of broccoli, rab, or rapini. They're actually started now. It's the middle of September here is about the right time to start. The exterior temperature in the daytime here now, I think it's around 8 degrees out, and in here it's around 24, something like that. So the ventilation fan actually will come on in a little while and start extracting some of that heat, pushing it into the ground. So overall, I would say that the performance so far meets expectations. Having insulated walls makes a lot of sense. Whether or not it makes a lot of sense for summer, I think we're going to need a lot of ventilation based on having all this heat come in through these glazings. Like I said, there's about 13 kilowatts or so on a clear day. The heat load in the middle of winter shouldn't be any more than 4.5 according to modeling. But we'll see, I guess. Just in case, to prevent any type of crop loss, I've put in a heater over here. And it's just a simple 4 kilowatt heater that's set up on this thermostat here. The thermostat will be set fairly low. I've estimated about 750 kilowatt hours for the structure for the year. So the heating requirements are pretty small, really. Really, you're just looking at keeping things above freezing and really creating a living refrigerator, I would guess. This is probably the best analogy. And nice and bright in here. All the walls are white, very reflective. Doesn't seem to really matter where you are in the building there's light, which is good because it means that, you know, plants that need light will won't become leggy, long and thin and leggy. So I haven't done anything really with the north wall right yet. The north wall really is just empty. There's a patch, I guess, of wood over there you see where I'm gonna attach some components for irrigation. That still needs to be done. For now I'm irrigating by hand. So not growing a whole lot yet, but things are planted in some containers for cut and come again greens, and there are a few things planted here in the beds. So I'm hoping that they see things start to grow within the next couple of days, I guess. In any case, that's it for this video log. Feel free to subscribe below. I'll give updates as they come along. Hoping to provide more than just, I guess, information on their performance in terms of the building, but you know, what we can grow in here and what kind of, you know, times it takes to harvest these things and whether or not they were good choices. Like I said, subscribe below. You'll get notified when I upload new videos. Thanks, later.